I spent
Are
five
you
years
still
in
getting like
restaurants,
eight
man. So
hours of
like,
sleep or 7 hours of sleep?
nah, dude, 8 hours. Like, I don't really. I need 7.5 usually. I mean, I can do seven. But 7.5 is like the middle. Eight, it's like it's nice. Some days I need it. I feel, but like I feel like it's also too much. You know what I mean? Um,
Dude, when you
I don't like going to bed
when you
early.
waking up at?
Like
What time?
seven. Pushed it early.
Are
I'm
you
trying
guys
to
still
push it to
there?
like 6:30.
Gotcha. Hey,
Say
you
it
can
again,
move in
Charles.
increments.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. No, my phone logged me out or kicked me
You ever
out.
heard of
Sorry.
priming yourself? Tony Robbins talks about that, priming yourself in the morning.
Yeah,
It's just
I
like
feel like I haven't heard of it, but I feel like I'm familiar with that kind of practice.
What's the concept?
concept was kind of getting your mind ready for the day. I mean, the concept I actually took from it was that it's like you wake up, it's rare if you just spring out of bed. So you gotta get yourself ready. You gotta basically control your mindset, control your mood. And he had you do that through like a breathing exercise and kind of visualizing what you want, where you are right now, what are you grateful for. So you might be groggy physically, but mentally you're ready to go. Anyways,
So,
I feel like
um,
it's the opposite. I feel like it's the opposite. I never feel it in my body. My body's ready to go. My mind
Oh,
is
really?
like, nah. Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
So, are you? So what you did was cut it back 30 minutes earlier. Your wake up.
Well, slowly but surely. I mean, 7 to 7:15, and 7:15 to 7. But it's tough, man,
Nice.
because it's like spent 5 years in restaurants, so it's like I'm used to like a late night schedule. So I'll be up to like midnight sometimes, just reading or working or
Oh yeah, I
journaling or
feel that.
whatnot.
Dude,
So
you
it's
gotta
like,
change your
Most nights
circadian
I go
rhythm
to bed at
slowly.
1.
yeah, exactly. But it's like, I spent 5 years doing that. It makes me feel like it's going to take another 5 years to switch it back. So it's like, I'm like, that's not even worth it. Like, to me, it's hard to convince myself that the early morning is better when it's like, all right, well, you know what I mean? Like, some people wake up 3 hours earlier just to have more time, but they also go to bed 3 hours earlier than I do. So it's like, what's the difference between me doing work between 9 and 12 midnight and compared to somebody doing work between like 5 and 8 in the morning? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, but I think you're on the right track because like the increments is what counts. When I like sleep in for work, I only give myself like 5 or 10 minutes, and when I cut my sleep back for getting up earlier for work, I cut it back by 5 or 10 minutes, and that's what gets me out of bed, or that's what gives me a little extra sleeping time. Like, and it totally counts. You'd think it was ridiculous, but it works.
Wait, getting to bed earlier or waking up?
No, waking up earlier. Like 5-10 minutes seems like nothing, but sometimes it's all you need. If I get up 5 minutes earlier, I can achieve so much more in the morning. But building on top of that other idea of priming, I haven't heard the idea from him specifically, but I've heard little tidbits, like Jordan Peterson talks about stuff like that, starting your morning off with eating
routine.
something that's high in fat and protein, taking a cold shower in the morning, journaling, starting your day off by journaling, starting your day off by saying things that are positive. Specifically, I've heard 5 things that you're grateful for. Starting your day off by reading, starting your day off, just little things that get you into motion, I guess. And I can say that for myself, on some days, I love to just hit my alarm off, roll over, turn the light on, and start reading in bed. And then next thing I know, I'm like, my mind's awake, and I'll just roll out of bed and get moving. Or starting with prayer, if you pray, Mike. I mean, I pray, so starting with prayer is helpful too.
I used to try to meditate, but I can't sit still for that long. Like at that point, I'm already up, and I'm like, all right, I gotta go. You know what I mean? Like I'm not very. It's like an ADD kind of thing. I don't know. I mean, I try not to like self-diagnose myself with that because then you're kind of affirming that there's something wrong with you. You know what I mean? So it's like I
Right.
try,
Yeah.
but I just trying to think that it's just like I can't really sit still and like clear my mind like that. There's certain times of the day where I can. I would say maybe in the middle of the day after lunch, but I'm not gonna come here and sit at the office and meditate. I should be working.
Right. Well, it
But
seems
another thing too, I
like
mean,
people
trying to
have
go to
different routines.
yeah, exactly. And you could, I guess, try to change your circadian rhythm, but I don't know. I guess whatever works for whatever.
Right.
I
Well, you
guess
gotta
another
find out what
problem I
works
have
for
too
you
is
too.
right. I guess another problem I have too is it's like I get myself psyched out late at night. You know what I mean? Like I told you guys, I'm trying to move to Miami, so I'm looking at apartments in Miami. I get so fucking excited. You know what I mean? So I like didn't go to bed last night until midnight because I saw all these great apartments. They're cheaper than they are up here, dude. $1,900 a month. You get a 1 bedroom in the middle of the city.
Damn.
It's like It's
Yeah.
fucking 72 degrees there. I'm going outside this morning. I'm stepping in slush. You know what I mean? And I'm like having to shovel my car, head to a showing. And I'm like, damn, it's 72 in Miami right now. Like,
Yeah,
why am I here?
I have that problem too, because I get to bed late. So I mean, it's legit. There's days I'll go to bed at midnight and I'll still lay in bed awake because I hype myself up too much reading or looking at a screen, typing a paper or something. So, but sometimes it helps to just stop eating early. Charlie, go ahead.
Oh, so my problem is like I'll do that too, but I'll get like a second wind. Like I'll lay in bed at night because I'm feeling tired. I'll take melatonin.
Yeah.
Boom, second wind, and I'm up doing something until like 1 or 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to like figure it out. I talked to someone that like goes to sleep at like 8 or 9. She was telling me that a good way to do it is to practice meditating before bed. I'm not sure how to do it, but she said she
Well,
could
there's a
show.
way to get it in
Yeah.
if you're
Which-
trying to meditate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it really comes down to what works for you. Because like the first thing is you have a little dilemma getting to bed at an early hour, which prevents you from getting up on time. So that's good that you know that, because like that's something I identified myself. I'm like, I need to get to bed earlier, even if it's just 15 or 30 minutes. And so I'll start doing things like I'll cut eating out and stuff like that to help wind myself down. So I'd say
Yeah.
you're already on the right path.
Same, I
Mhm.
agree with that. It
You
seems
guys.
like you have to find out what works for you, is because everybody's different.
Yeah. I agree with like Mike's idea too. Like, is it Michael or Mike? Do you prefer Mike or Mike?
Whatever. I don't really care.
Oh, cool. I like the fact that you're getting like an extra 3 hours to study or something like that, whether it's at night or like early in the morning. Maybe it's you should go with what works best for you. As far as like
Right.
it's what you do with the time that you have, that free time. So.
I know
I'm
some
just-
people
Another
that do
thing-
both, man.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. What were we saying, Mike?
I know some people that do both. I mean, they'll stay up till midnight and then wake up at 4. You know what I mean? They only sleep, like they can last on 4 or 5 hours of sleep. I'm like, how do people do that? And they do have the
Yeah.
slight edge by doing it. You know what I mean? And it's like, what
Yeah.
the fuck? I wish I
Right.
could do that.
So something that worked for me was I would end up saving everything I had to do till I got home. So I'd get up, I'd do my work day, I'd come home, I'd work out, and then I'd read and do homework. And I would start to and I'd pray and all that stuff. And so I started implementing that stuff little by little throughout the day instead. So like at lunch, I'd read the first book that I want to read, 5 pages of it, and I'd say one of the prayers that I say, and I would organize the homework I was going to do for the night or something. And that way, when I actually got home, I'd already chipped off some little pieces. I'd already organized stuff so I could get right into the homework, and I was able to cut, time spent doing homework and staying up late by like 20, 30 minutes, an hour. That has helped a lot. I've been doing that over the last month or two. Big difference.
So it's kind of like almost shifting your focus to different things, and that kind of helps you retain it, and also kind of gives your brain a more.
It's not really, it's me not procrastinating as much. I wouldn't really call it procrastinating, because it's not that I'm not busy during the day. It's just me finding a way to more effectively use my time so that I can actually free up my evening a little more to get to bed on time. Trying to knock out some of the little chores, like, because my goal is to read 10 pages of each book every day, and I have 3 books, so that's 30 pages a day, and some books are boring as freaking all hell. And so
Yeah, they got a lot of details and info, but they're so dry and they're tough to read.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'll read like 5 pages in the morning, 5 pages while I'm at work if we're not doing anything, another 5 pages at lunch. Next thing I know, I'm already halfway done with reading. I get home, that's 50% less time I need to spend reading in the night. That's like an hour and a half worth of time. Like I'm a slow reader sometimes. So
Yeah, I like that concept of just doing a little at a time. I'm actually thinking about doing it with the note cards I've been doing. I didn't hit the goal before anybody asked, but
Nice.
I'm
Oh,
just thinking
sweet.
about doing that because I try to like say, all right, I'm gonna do this for 5 hours straight, and it's so tedious and
yeah,
it takes a lot of time because I'm filling these. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm writing 2 sentences; like they're top to bottom. I mean, it's completely filled, so it takes some time. I mean, I just did it. I did like I think 14 in an hour, so it's like if I'm trying
wow.
to do 170 of them, it's, you know, like 12 hours worth of work, and I can't just sit there. So I'm just thinking like, I'll do 5 here, you know, bang them out in like 20 minutes or so, and then go do something else. And then that way give my brain time trying
and
that
if you-
concept with things that,
Yeah, I think that's
Go
a
ahead.
proven method that works. Like, I read this one book for university studies, like 10 easy ways to earn good grades, like in college. And I think they were talking about something like that, you know? Like, don't try to take yourself on, forcing
Yeah.
yourself to, you know, for an hour and a half, you know, kind of break it up. You know, if you read something and like, you know, you kind of gain something from it, you know, go do something else, you know, before you just completely burn yourself out and not want to do it again.
Yeah.
That's why I was
Yeah.
asking. Like, it's not. Yeah, I didn't think it's procrastinating at all because I think it definitely stimulates the brain a bit more to have different to take and retain different stuff. So
Well,
I think
it
pretty
can
sweet
look like it because you'll be like, oh, I'll do it in the evening. I'll do it in the evening, even though you know you're going to get it done. But
Mhm.
Daniel, nice job being quiet. That's listening's always a great quality.
Thanks, man.
And another comment to make is, you know, with the whole doing, you know, little by little during the day to get things done. If you think about it, that's how most things are done properly. You know, your own self growth is done little by little. Who's the guy who's like, look how Michelangelo sculptured statues, you know, or whoever did it, you know, you just chip a little bit away at a time. So it's like, honestly, that's what works is conquering one little piece at a time and making it finer and finer and finer, and then moving on to the next piece little by little. And
Kind
then
of the
things get done.
concept of no shortcuts too.
Yeah.